Welcome to this new English lesson at Edutin Academy, where we are going to talk about things that have become commodities in this capitalistic world using relative clauses. As you know, in this unit, we are aiming to improve our persuasive ability when talking in English. Something that can aid us is to add extra information to our key arguments. To do this in a seamless way, we can use relative clauses. So this structure that we will review now will help you make your arguments stronger when attempting to support your thesis in a persuasive text. Let's check the example. Can you recognize the main idea? The main idea is the core of a text. These texts can be oral, like an opinion or a speech, or writing, like an opinion paragraph or an essay. The main idea is usually at the beginning of a text and in the conclusion. So try to find the main idea of the following text.
There are very few things that money cannot buy, which is a problem. For example, people who have been sentenced to jail time for horrible crimes can pay $82 a night to improve their accommodations in prison. Another example is that companies are hiring people who have no home or education to stand in line for their clients so they don't have to. This is because we are transitioning from market economies, where there are commodities to buy and a desire to solve problems through enterprise, to market societies, where everything is for sale. However, we should ask ourselves, should every service we have become a commodity? I don't think it should. Firstly, people who have no money wouldn't have access to essential services to live decent life, which would raise levels of inequality. Secondly, incorporating market solutions to elements in society, like education, could remove key values from the process. For example, if schools were to offer money to kids that may come from economically disadvantaged homes for every book they read, they wouldn't find the autonomy and joy in reading for its own educational value. In fact, it's possible that those whom receive the money would read less complex books and finish them quicker without developing appropriate learning skills.
So what's the main idea of the document? Let's take 10 seconds to think about the next options. A. Being able to buy everything is good for society because it improves economic development. B. Being able to buy everything is bad and detrimental for society. That's right! The main idea is B. So let's now move on to the different uses of relative clauses. We can use relative clauses after a main sentence or clause to give extra information about said sentences or clause. For example, people who have no money wouldn't have access to essential services to live a decent life, which would raise levels of inequality. In this sentence, the main clause is: people wouldn't have access to essential services to live a decent life. While the relative clauses are who have no money, which would raise levels of inequality. The relative pronouns that we usually use to write these relative clauses are which, used for plurals, who, used for people, that, used for people and objects, whose, used for possession, where, used for place, when, used for time, why, used for reason, whom, used when the noun is affected by the action in the sentence. Defining relative clauses help you define the noun in the main sentence. In this case, you can use which, who, and that. For example, people who have no money wouldn't have access to essential services to live a decent life. Who have no money. This is helping us classify the people who is getting affected by the market society. In fact, it's possible that those who receive the money would read less complex books and finish them quicker without developing appropriate learning skills. Whom receive the money means that we're talking about the students that are affected by the action, receive money. When the relative pronoun is the object affected by the action of the relative clause, you can omit the pronoun. For example, however, we should ask ourselves, should every service we have in society become a commodity? Now, defining relative clauses don't give essential information about the main sentence or clause. They are added between commas, and if you were to remove them from the sentence, this wouldn't change the meaning or alter the sentence structure. For example, this is because we are transitioning from market economies where there are commodities to buy and a desire to solve problems through enterprise to market society where everything is for sale. Firstly, people who have no money wouldn't have access to essential services to live a decent life, which would raise levels of inequality. But remember, in this type of structure, you cannot omit the relative pronoun. So now it's your turn to practice. Use our comment section and share your answer for the following question. What kind of things have become a commodity in this capitalistic world? I invite you to support your position with arguments and examples. Then write comments to your partner's positions. Thank you for your attention. See you next class.
¿Te ha gustado este video? Te invito a continuar tu aprendizaje ingresando a edutin.com, donde encontrarás más de 6,000 cursos gratis y con certificado. Además, podrás interactuar con personas de todo el mundo. Ingresa ahora o descarga nuestra aplicación móvil.